I am poetry. I was created before I was placed in the womb. He had to make me smaller just to make room, a temporary lease. So, like a hidden flower, I continued to bloom, turned mama's stomach into a big old balloon, then boom, I came bursting out. She got the rose that she chose in a dream. Her heart's desire turned living, breathing scream. It's a girl! And that's how I was introduced to this world. But me, they didn't know. The real me, she wouldn't show. See, in this world, I had to continue to grow, so I smiled when I received love and I cried when they just did not understand. I wasn't just a little girl. I am a part of God's big plan. Went from depending solely on God to depending on them. Bottles, diapers. I had no control of my limbs, and if they didn't know, I was so glad they both were still in God's hands. A prophecy, manifested, invested for the kingdom. See, I was God's child before I was theirs. Now, wrapped in flesh, a bloody, screaming mess. On day one, I knew this world was not to be trusted, and that one day I had to make it back home, bringing a whole lot of others with me. Doctors disturbed my peace with their scientific beliefs as if I didn't just come from God. Lack of faith. This place was odd, but I was on assignment, so I had to oblige. This world will make you forget who you are, leave you with scars, and force you to leave your heart guarded. But you have to remember exactly where you started, with God. Hi everybody, thank you so much for coming to join me and hang out with me at my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Mrs. Carter, aka Angel, and this is Salon Talk with Angel. Of course, everybody's new here because this is legit my first debut video. I am actually doing this. If you watched the video before, you know that this is something that I've talked about for a long time. Or if you've just been around me in person, you also know this is something that I have talked about for a minute now. And it is finally happening. So I am beyond excited. Let's be clear, this is not a performance. I was told to tell you this is an assignment. And I'm here to silence your depression. I'm here to arm you with dignity and plant seeds of faith and hope back into your heart by getting to know who you are, which is by getting to know who God is, who created you, before you even decide to pair your life with somebody else. So sit back, relax, get comfy. I'm getting ready to go ahead and do this assignment for y'all. So, just a little backstory on this poem. I shared it with someone for the first time years ago. I don't know, just talking and sharing art with each other. And when I recited the poem for them, they were just like, oh yeah, Jeremiah 1:5. And I'm just like, what do you mean? This is in the Bible? Like, are you kidding me? They're like, yeah, read Jeremiah 1:5. And I was just like, wow. So that confirmed to me, like, God was really speaking to me and through me as I'm writing, because when I was writing the words, I was just like, this is getting weird. I'm not gonna continue writing this poem. But then I felt something in my spirit, and I felt like Holy Spirit was just telling me, like, don't worry about what it sounds like, just continue to write, let it all come out, and then look at it after the fact, and you know, it is what it is, just make sure it's created. So I do that, and I read it a few times, and I'm just like, this really does not make sense to me. And so fast forward, a friend of mine tells me about Jeremiah 1:5, and I'm blown away because I'm just like, wow, God, this was you. That was really you as I'm writing. Like, you know how you have those moments where you feel like God told you something, but you're not sure if it was you just thinking, and then you feel something in your spirit, but you're not 100%. And then, you know, if you tell somebody, they might look at you like you're crazy because it's really outside of this world. Definitely was having one of those moments when I wrote this piece. And so it was very relieving and very confirming to know that this was actually a passage in Jeremiah and that it was God speaking to me all along. So I wanted to start with this piece also because I feel like so many of us don't know ourselves. I know I can speak for myself. For a long time, I didn't know who I was, what I wanted, what I didn't want and why, what I wanted to do, just all these different questions. And we're going to always develop and become, and so, but when you get to know God better, then you get to know yourself a lot better. And so I feel like I've gotten to a place where I'm a little more comfortable with who I am as I continue to seek God to get to know my purpose and get to know me and why I'm here. So I hope I can inspire y'all to do the same. I remember a season of my life where I would look at the mirror more than I would look at my soul, more than I would question my heart. It was like my body was more important than my heart, and my makeup was more important than who I actually was. If you really knew who God created you to be on the inside, you would realize that the outside is nothing more than the icing on the cake. How sweet and how delicate you are, and how imperfectly perfect God made you. Example, when that Barbie movie came out, and I low-key feel like my sign kind of looks like Barbie, but when that Barbie movie came out, people were going crazy. Like, people who don't even watch Barbie anymore, like, we too old to be watching Barbie. And then I noticed people would give compliments like, oh, you look like Barbie, you look so good. And I'm just like, we don't look like Barbie. Barbie looks like us. Barbie couldn't have been made without the template or the blueprint. We are it. Barbie is just a little, imitation or image of us. Another backstory on top of this. I was looking out the window one day and I saw these clouds, and they were like floating by, and they were so pretty and fluffy and white. And I remember having this thought to myself, and I'm just like, God, wow, your clouds, this looks like a work of art. This looks like a painting. And I literally heard him in my spirit say, no, my clouds don't look like a painting. Paintings look like my clouds. And I was just like, ooh, okay, Lord, excuse me. But then it got me to thinking about the Barbie doll. And it's just like here we go, comparing another man-made creation to a God creation, right? We look at this Barbie and we're just like, oh, I hope to look like her. I aspire to have a slim waist, or whatever it is that you see her in her as beauty. And it's just like, the Barbie couldn't have been made without the example of womankind, which makes me think of another piece that I wrote. And part of it goes like this: I am woman. I'm not a Barbie. I am not to be played with. I am the type that a real man stays with, not just lays with. Get down on 2 knees and praise with. Any real women out there I can praise with. Just knowing who you are changes everything. It changes how you even receive compliments, because how dare you say I look like something that's only a piece of me. There's another part of my poem that goes on to say, no need for an insecurity sign placed on my chest or on my behind, stating that the original wasn't up to par. I set the bar. You can't make a copy without the example, and I refuse to wear a sample of what I'm already made of. And sometimes I wear it, but I don't need makeup. Keyword need. I don't think anything's wrong with putting on makeup. I don't think anything's wrong with wearing extensions if you like to add some hair, or, working out, getting it together. My thing is, when we start to depend on it, then something's deeply wrong. Is it flexing or is it insecurity? People confuse confidence with putting on somebody else's name brand. People confuse confidence with covering their original look with makeup. And the list goes on and on and on. People confuse confidence with I have the best bundles, but what about taking care of your hair so that you have the best hair? My thing is, are you seeking God's approval, man's approval, or self-approval? And I really hope to encourage y'all to ask yourself this question at the end of this video. One of the first ways that I realized I didn't know who I was, my parents' opinion weighed heavy over my head. Like, there were certain parts of me that I just wouldn't dare share with them because of how strongly I felt about their opinions. That actually makes a lot of sense when you're like young and you're in school or whatever, like you're under their household, their roof or whatever. Then yes, like what they say go. And so I carried that into my adulthood. I did not want them to be disappointed in me. I didn't want them to look at me like I was a failure. So I was still putting too much of their opinion on a pedestal, because at the end of the day, like, I belong to God. And that's what he was showing me in the poem that I recited, or I shared with you guys earlier, is that I don't answer to myself. I don't answer to them. I answer to him. At the end of the day, is what he wants for my life and why he created me for this season, in this world, in this generation, right? And so it took a lot of prayer and a lot of like seeking God to realize that that was even a thing. Like, it was so normal for me to, you know, be respectful is what I thought I was doing. But really, I was giving them like a position in my life that was not okay. It wasn't normal. It wasn't natural for the age that I was at, or, you know, the place in life I was in. I was an adult. And I wanted to respect them, but also I couldn't let their opinions or my idea of what their opinion would be to control and tower over me. Like, that just wasn't healthy. And God wanted to do some things through me, through my testimony, that had I stayed in that state of mind, it would have stifled it. I wouldn't have been able to be as open and as honest with my testimony as I need to be. Right. Number two, I didn't realize my job was making me a people pleaser. Always saying yes, squeezing in appointments, you know, just trying to give the best experience. My goal was to give superb customer service, but it was transferring over into my personal life. I'm currently learning not to be a people pleaser now. I consider myself a recovering people pleaser. I just feel like I have a really big heart, and I feel like people with a big heart, it's hard for us to say no sometimes. It's hard for us to be very honest and straightforward with people about things, because we can literally put ourselves in their shoes and feel how they feel. An empath is what they call us sometimes too, is I have empathy. So it's like when I need to be stern, or I need to look out for me first, and that's going to unfortunately affect someone on a negative end, it's like I feel like I want to do it in a way where they won't get hurt or they won't get disappointed. But sometimes in reality, that's just not how it's going to work. It is what it is. And if you are not being protected at the expense of someone not feeling comfortable, did I say that right? If you are not protecting yourself because somebody else might be uncomfortable, that's a problem. And so that's something that God has revealed to me recently, and I'm working on and praying about as we speak. But that was an indicator. That is an indicator and a sign that you don't know something about yourself, because when you know who you are, you let stuff like that go. And it's like, I got to live the life that God has given me, the way that he wants me to live this thing out. I have purpose. And I'm sorry, I can't do this, this, and this because of that purpose. When you know your worth, it changes everything. So God is dealing with me on that. So if that's you too, sis, sound off in the comments. I want to hear how you've overcome this. If you've overcome it, give us all some advice, because it can be hard when you're a really caring person and an empath. You can accidentally become a people pleaser. Clue number 3 that I didn't know myself is that I found my strength in makeup and clothes, hairstyles, my look. So what I noticed is whenever I put on a full face of makeup, had my hair done, dressed, you know, looking good, even at the gas station, people who probably normally wouldn't even speak to me were opening the door for me. People were just giving me compliments, strangers giving me compliments. Oh, you're so pretty. Oh, you look good. Or you can just tell when somebody's looking a little longer than usual. And so because I was getting that type of attention from my looks, then I felt like that's what I needed to work on. I didn't subconsciously thinking, I'm just like, I wasn't working on my character or who I am as a person. I literally kept working on how can I look better? What's going to be the next look for my outfit? What are the different makeup tips that I can apply to my face to enhance my features? You know, different things like that. So I felt like I was getting power from looking beautiful, or applying manufactured beauty is really what it is. I felt weak and I felt a little insecure until the next best look. So I felt like if my makeup wasn't done, if my hair wasn't done, if I didn't have anything to wear, I needed to stay indoors. I did not want to go outside. And I always would look at women who didn't wear makeup and had confidence and wonder, wow, like, how do she carry herself like that? She looks very comfortable, like, but she's not wearing a lick of makeup. She's not, you know what I'm saying? She looks very, very like comfortable, but she's like comfortable. So that was another clue. Something was off. Something was wrong, because it didn't make sense for me to only feel good when I was being something and looking like something that naturally wasn't me. How I overcame the makeup. Honestly, y'all, it was COVID, okay? When we had to put on that mask and we couldn't go anywhere, I said, forget this. I'm not spending an hour or two in this mirror trying to figure out how to apply my makeup, just put a mask over my face. I was a little hurt too, because I love lip colors. I still wear lipstick colors. I don't necessarily like wear full face makeup anymore, but every now and again I'll put on a lippy. So that mask thing hurt my feelings, because I was like buying lip gloss, I was buying lipsticks before that, and I was just like, so y'all mean to tell me I can't wear any of this? So honestly, COVID was a big help. It allowed me to spend a lot of alone time with God. I stayed in my room. I prayed a lot. I read the word a lot, because I had nothing but time to do so. And I got tired of, you know, being on social media, watching Netflix movies. You know, after a while, it was just like, okay, I need a break. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to take this time to get to know God better. And he just began to show me, like, you don't take care of what I gave you. And that's why you cover it up so much. And that's why you feel uncomfortable leaving the house without it being covered. It's because instead of taking care of it, you're just hiding it. You're just putting it away. And it was like my hair. I was wearing a lot of like wigs, weave, things like that. But also because I'm a hairstylist, so duh. But at the same time, it was like, ooh, I felt my best and I felt the prettiest when I had the longest, prettiest bundles in. And so I wasn't giving my hair a chance to flourish the way that it could. I didn't even know that my hair could grow, okay? I knew it could get like to a decent length. I think my length stayed like maybe where my collarbone is. That was like the longest. But like when I start really taking care of it and nourishing it and like loving on what God gave me, essentially, that's when my hair began to take off. So this is all of my hair. For those of you who are wondering, who's watching this video, yes, sis, this is all my hair. I don't have clip-ins. This is not a sew-in. There's no hair added. Thank you, Jesus. And I'm continuing. I'm on a journey of growing it longer. But right now, I think it's like down to like where this dress starts to plunge a little bit, or a little bit past it. So it's a decent length, but I definitely want to grow it even longer now that I know it's possible. I didn't know it was possible because I wasn't loving on myself and taking care of my hair like I should. And then my skincare, I started getting facials. I bought all of the products that my esthetician told me to get to take care of my personal skincare needs. And at first I was just like, whatever, I'm just doing this because I know I need to do it, because I obviously didn't see the results right away. And then as I started to continue using the products, my face got so clear and vibrant. And I was just like, whoa, I didn't even know that my skin could be this healthy. So then it went to, I used to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on makeup, to, okay, now spending this money on skincare, because I was so in love with the results of how well my skin was behaving that I didn't care about makeup anymore. Like now when I wear it, it's more so like just for fun, like a special occasion or event, just to enhance, or maybe if I do a video, I might put on a little bit of makeup. But it's literally just to enhance and have fun and play with. It is not something that I depend on anymore. So God delivered me from that. like I said, I don't think anything is wrong with wearing it. I think there's a problem when we start to depend on something that is not ours. And it's like, then it goes back to the question, do you love yourself? And if you love yourself, why aren't you taking care of it? Why aren't you taking care of what God gave you? So that's what delivered me from wearing makeup excessively and finding my strength in it and power in it. And the only power and strength I should be finding in is Jesus. So he definitely delivered me from that. And I'm so grateful. So those are just 3 things that I covered that made me realize I didn't know myself as well as I thought I did. And God just began to show me the more I spent time with him in prayer and meditation and reading his word, how beautifully and wonderfully he has made us. I'm not even just talking about me. I just shared some personal things with you all. But the thing is, he says in his word, you are beautifully and wonderfully made. He knows the number of hairs on your head. They're numbered. Like, that is, when I think about that, that is crazy to me. Like, he knows, like, this little piece is like number 33 or something. Like, that's crazy. But it just goes to show, like, how much love he has for us and how much time and energy he put into creating humankind, womankind. It's really heavy on my heart. And working in the beauty industry for 14, going on 15 years, I just see so much insecurity hidden behind arrogance and confidence and pride. And it's like, I'm not judging, but my heart goes out because I can see the pain behind the smile. I can see the pain behind the manufactured beauty. The longer the hair, the more I don't see the real woman behind it. It's like, man, you know, like, can we pray? Because you are beautiful without that. You definitely are. But you do have to take care of what God has given you in order to fully enjoy it. I mean, it is what it is. Faith without works. You know what I'm saying? Like, believe that you are who he created you to be, beautifully and wonderfully made, and then work on it. Make sure you're taking care of yourself because it's going to ultimately show. So those are a few things, like I said, that made me realize I didn't know who I was. And ask yourself these questions. Are you trying to please yourself? Are you trying to please man? Or are you trying to please God? And seriously ask yourself these questions. Don't lie. Don't shy away from it. Be real. Be raw with yourself and get to the bottom of it. And anyone who has overcome something, if you could please go ahead and share that in the comments. We would love to hear your story, your testimony for encouragement. If you have any questions or if you have any suggestions on the next video, please let me know. Because I'm trying to figure out what direction I want to go in with this, because there's so many topics that I want to cover, and I'm trying to like start with what's most important in this season right now so that it's like relevant. But there's so many different things that I want to talk about. But you definitely need to know yourself, love yourself, and take care of yourself before you call yourself going on a date with somebody else. Like, that's backwards, for real. And I say that with love. All right, well, that completes my first video. Thumbs up, like, share with someone if you think this will be encouraging for them. And yeah, I will see y'all in the next video. I will announce when that's going to be posted. I haven't decided yet because, listen, this was a lot. I'm not going to lie. Editing, for you YouTubers out there, kudos to y'all, because this is really a job. This is a project, but I love it, and I'm here on assignment, like I said before, and yeah, let's do it. All right, see you guys next time. Mwah.